Hello, this is our paper game midterm for Group S. It's Paulina, Jerome, and Patrick. We're gonna get started. On our agenda, we're gonna show our game process flow, and then we're gonna talk about our strategy and the roles of each member, and then we're gonna talk about how the market fluctuated and changed and the things we had to do with different rules and whatnot. And then we're going to show our T accounts and how we use them. Alright, so first, this is our game process flow. We made a flow chart here of each round, what we bought and what we would sell. And originally, you can see that in the beginning we were buying cheap, and that was our early game plan: buy cheap and sell high. And after round 3, though, you see we didn't have any activity and didn't buy any paper. We kind of realized that we needed to change that, and we continued to buy paper throughout the rest of the rounds. Up next, we're going to talk about our strategy. Like I said, our original strategy was buying at a low price and selling at a higher price. And if the price was high, we had some inventory, and we would skip the buying process the next round or so. And if we did not have any inventory, we would buy at any price. And but we realized that we needed inventory at all times because it's the only way to make money. And so we continued buying every round, no matter what the price was, pretty much, as long as we had inventory. And after we're going to talk our specialty product. After we sold our original specialty product, we made the decision not to make any more because we thought the single pieces of paper would work better we'd profit more from a single piece of paper. Yes. Alright, we're gonna go into the roles and what each of us did. At the beginning, we said that Paulina would keep track of the records and all the rounds and accounts, and I would also keep track of them, so we would be able to look at each other's and make sure we would alright. And also took care of running things up, and we were both decision making at the time. And Jerome also, he was responsible for the decision making when it came to what we were gonna do. And originally we were both writing it down, but once we made the Excel accounts, it made it a lot easier, and we each maintained our own T accounts in Excel, so we could double check it. In regards to the real world application of this game, Paulina, Jerome, and I acted equally as managers of the business, whereas Paulina and Patrick were the accountants, keeping track of the accounts, and our roles pretty much stayed the same throughout the entire game. We all had to contribute and took care of we all were involved in the decision-making process. We're going to talk about the market, though. I think the paper game was a good thing because, like a real-world market, it changed and fluctuated, and with the rules changing and the roll of the dice. So, I think the big rule change that helped was that we were allowed to receive our paper in the same game, in the same round. As soon as we bought it, we didn't have to wait. I think that was very beneficial to us, and because, like I said, we wanted to keep inventory at all times, so we were able to always have something to sell. The other rule change was a selling price of $8 per square. that rather than the 6 that was could have been the highest, and I think that was beneficial for every team. I think it just allowed you to make more profit and sell higher. The final rule change was a specialty product, and we made a small boat which used 6 squares for our product, and it was sold at 3 times higher. It was rolled on the dice, which was nice, but the first day we were selling our specialty product, we realized that we weren't going to profit as much because it took more to make. So that's when we decided that we would sell only the single paper pieces of paper, rather than the 6 at a time. The following week it changed again, and we were able to multiply that 3 as well, all the way by the 6, the number of squares that it took for the product, which it would have benefited our team. However, we decided we did not take advantage of that, and I think that's something we could have changed and taken advantage of, but we still made out to profit. And next up, we're going to talk about the T accounts. The T account is extremely beneficial, and I think it helps keep records neat once you know what you're doing. And we had to figure that out. We figured that out a few rounds into it. We were a little confused, and that's why we weren't completely accurate at the end of the game. But our main challenge was setting up the table where we could use formulas, because the way we set up our account, we were unable to put formulas in, so that Excel would just calculate it for us, because we had all of our accounts on a separate table, on 4 separate ones, rather than one table where we could calculate everything together. Next up, we got a picture of our T accounts, and as you can see over here, we had the cash on the left, and then the accounts payable, accounts receivable, and inventory. We attempted to make it so we could multiply by the paper price and the sales price and how much we bought, but we were unable to do that. It was pretty confusing, so we figured it out, though. Once we got it going, we were able to kind of get our records back on track, although we were missing a few, I think $60 by the end. But I think that if we were to use them again, we'd all be able to accurately keep our records, and I think that game showed us well that we were able to do. It showed us a real life type deal that we can use it. At the conclusion of this, though, like I said, I think the paper game was a great example of activities happening on a daily basis in the business world. Helped us realize that decision making in business is more complicated than we expected, and that the success of a business relies heavily on a manager's decision-making skills. We really saw how the market can change, how things can fluctuate, and how every decision has an impact on the company. And I think that if you're not making good decisions, well, that'll just be the downfall of it. And I think that the paper game was a great example of how we're gonna use these concepts in the real life world, real business world. Excuse me. Overall, I think it was a great experience, and we learned a lot. And yeah, thank you very much.